All right, meet Big Richard. We call him Dick. This is an M114 155mm US howitzer. This is currently the largest known firing artillery piece in private hands in the US, if not the world. And this is a very important special piece. This belongs to Battlefield Vegas, who have brought it out here for the Big Sandy 20th anniversary shoot. This gun was essentially derived during World War II, and it was such a simple system, very reliable in its nature, and there really was no reason to make any drastic changes or upgrades. So much so that it stayed in service from World War II through Korea, Vietnam, all the way into the mid-90s with the US. The gun is still in service in many other countries. So it's kind of like the Mardus M250 cal of the artillery world. Very simple, proven, no real need to change it. So we'll take you through a quick walkthrough and show you some features of the gun. So this is basically the business end of the gun, the 155mm round. Very versatile, many different forms of ordnance available. It even was nuclear capable. And essentially, in layman's terms, for those who don't really understand how artillery fire works, whilst this can be used as a direct fire weapon, it is more often than not an indirect fire in support of troops. So you see a lot in the movies when they're on the radio and they're calling for artillery support. There's a good chance this, for the US at least, was what was on the other side. Now, when an artillery battery places down in the field, they're often shooting over the horizon. So the gun will actually make a full elevation, which we'll demonstrate here shortly. And you have a job in the artillery called a surveyor. And he will essentially plant a series of stakes out in front of the gun and the gun battery. And when those stakes are essentially coordinated to line up with grid references and points on a map. So when they're aiming at something, a lot of times they're actually just aiming at one of those stakes right in front of their gun, but they're actually shooting very indirectly. And the way call for fire works is they'll essentially shoot a test round. They'll fire one round and they'll see where it lands, and then they can adjust that round onto the target. And then that term we've all heard from the movies, fire for effect, essentially means once that first round is where you need it to be, they say fire for effect, and then the whole battery of these releases rounds and covers almost an entire grid square. And that is the effective way of demonstrating artillery. So it's essentially, given the nature of the round, because the round is so big, it's too big and heavy and cumbersome to have what's called a case that would look like a conventional bullet. This is what's known as a bag gun. So the projectile will be loaded into the gun first by itself, and then there is no case, so to speak. A powder charge bag is put in behind it, and then that's how we shoot it. Very effective, very simple, and only recently, with the introduction of the M177 with modern digital technology, has this weapon system been replaced. Okay, quite a workout. But as you can see, that's almost our maximum elevation. But at this elevation, you'll send that round well and truly over the horizon. And then you can add, you have your base charge bag, propellant, and then you can add additional booster charges in front of that. And that actually boosts the pressure, and it gets more range out of the round. When the gun fires, it will hit about 3/4 of its recoil stroke. So if we were to fire today at this elevation, this will damn nearly plow into the ground. So they may have to dig sections out here to make room for the gun to recoil. We also have our assist springs. So this gun is so heavy, without those springs, it would be nearly impossible to elevate like this. But as those springs compress and relax, they actually assist the guy on the controls of making the job a little bit easier. It's gonna be a dirty black summer!
Shit, yeah.
That was the only appropriate thing for you to say.
Yes. 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 Yes.